All right, welcome back to the Down Under Lawn. So today, what are we up to? Part 2 of the Zoysia renovation. So that's going to include some core aeration, so a bit of manual core aeration, plus I'll have the machine hired. We'll be getting into that probably straight up. Now, just got to make sure when you are looking at doing core aeration, especially in renovation, that your lawn is wet enough that you can take cores out, but you don't want it too wet to where the point is just pushing the ground down and compacting it more. You just want to have it, just watered maybe 3 days before, then maybe a day before, then that should be fine. And then we're going to be top dressing. So if you haven't already, go check out my ultimate tool guide for lawn renovations and you'll see what sort of shovel you'll need. We've got the wheelbarrow, we've got the sand, and then once we've top dressed, we're going to fertilise with some of the Lawntips Dominate. We're going to use our fertiliser spreader, and then we're going to put liquids down, which is our soil wetter seaweed. It's also a liquid fertiliser. That way we'll get instant nitrogen into the ground to get that grass started growing. So yeah. And now, if you haven't checked out part 1, I recommend you go back to last week's video, check out part 1 where we scalped the lawn, then we scarified, then we went back over and scarified it back down to dirt. Did I do the right thing? Let's wait and see. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and if you've got any questions, put them down in the comments. Tell me how you like to do your lawn renovations. Thanks for watching. And let's get to it. Woo! The Down Under Lawn, the best lawn in town. So it's important to remember when you get one of these billy goat aerators, it's not hydraulic, means it's just self-propelled. You need to fill the water up, so that gives you extra weight to get down deep. So now we are good to go. Got the liquid ferts out here ready to go. Or the liquid, should I say. We're putting out our soil wetter at 100 mils per 100 squares. Seaweed Secrets, great for the root system. Putting that out at 100 per 100 squares. Quantum H. This just helps with the plant and soil amendments, just gives you a stronger root system. Stimulizer. We'll get that out. ACTIV8 MATE. That one, just that little kick before the fertiliser, the granular fertiliser kicks in. So, so basically what we're going to do is mix up about 200 square metres worth. So we'll put about 11 litres of water in there. And we'll mix 100, 200 mil of each of these products, except for the Stimulizer, which you literally only need 6 millimetres. So this is what the liquids look like. So you can see they're all if they weren't safe to mix together, that'd all be lumpy and congealed and it wouldn't still look runny. But yeah, so putting this out at 100 mils per 100 square metres. So basically 200 mils of each product. And yeah, obviously quite safe to put together. All right, well, one thing I will say is that safe to lay these products down. You can leave them on the leaf, but with the soil wetter, you need to water that in to get it down into the soil profile. So, but we'll do that at the end once we've got the sand and the granular fertiliser out. But yeah, make sure you do water it in. The other products are all safe to leave on the leaf because they can be a foliar intake. So, but the soil wetter, you want it to get down into the soil. probably another important thing I did forget to say was I've calibrated this sprayer, but I've calibrated to go in both directions. You should always go in both directions when spraying, just to make sure that you completely get the whole area. Also, these liquids are completely safe and no PPE really required. I just wear gloves because I don't like getting it on my hands, and I'm already in long sleeves, long pants, but don't need any face protection. So right now I'm about to explain to you that, yep, this is the best sand that I've found in yarn. Little did I know, this is the total wrong sand to use. Look, you can still use it, and I did use it, and it worked fine on my Kokuya, but for my Zoysia, which was slow growing, this is the wrong sand. This is a bricklaying sand. It's a clay base, so what it actually does is when you put it down, it gets a really strong crust on top and will smother your lawn. And in the future videos, you will see when I go over my mistakes on what I did with this renovation and then my lawn season, you will see that because I used this sand, and probably also because I cut it too low, but we won't go into that, but because I used this sand, it formed a real crust and it basically suffocated my lawn in some parts. So again, bricklaying sand, don't use. All right, let's get into it. So it's a pretty simple technique that I'll be using. Just a short-handled square nose shovel, and we'll be just putting it in and flicking it out. For the most part, that's it for the Zoysia. As you can see, I don't know whether it picks up on camera, but where the trenches come out of the irrigation box, I've really gone quite heavy. And then we'll get the level, and we'll try to get these as level, because there is quite the dip that runs up the middle to the sides. There's a big dip in there, up here. We've gone quite heavy with the top dress here, probably won't go as heavy out there. Dare say I'm going to have a fair chunk of sand left over, but that's okay. We can use it later on in the season. So next step is to level this out. I've just been letting this sand dry a bit, so it's much easier to spread when you're trying to get it out, and it'll go into all the holes, and hopefully we'll end up with something somewhat level. So this is what you call a lawn level. This is probably the prosumer. It's probably just 1.2 meters wide. The idea is you just push it around and it'll help you find all the holes and keep it level. This is by Williams Tool Co. It's an Australian made company. You'll probably find it at any good landscape or lawn stores online. I think I got this from Ben Sims at lawntips.net, so if you're after one, go check it out. Tell him Phil sent you from the Down Under Lawn. He might give me a sponsorship. Finished with the levelling of the Zoysia. I think we've probably got one little low spot, maybe around here. We might get a bit more out and maybe over in that corner, but for the most part seems to have filled in pretty good. This is what I'll be using for my granular fertilising. It's the Scott spreader. I've got the kitchen scales, which these are my own personal ones, not the ones out of the kitchen. Your wife may kill you. I've just got a jug to pour it in so it's less messy. Sometimes I do just put that on top of that, but the bag is quite full. And I've got the Lawntips Dominate granular fertiliser. So this is the bigger prill size. This is the 2 to 4 mil. It's perfectly fine for just a regular your regular lawns. It's not too big, but it'll definitely sit amongst that leaf canopy. It's got quite a nice nitrogen, low phosphorus and a bit of potassium, especially when your lawn's trying to recover. You need those minerals to get your lawn going. And I just like to tear my scales off. I'm going to be looking to put about 1.5 kilos. No point going crazy with this, because for the most part that's all you need is 3 kilos. In summer and autumn when you want to put this out, you could go a half rate, so you don't creating so much leaf growth, you're just giving it the feed that it needs. But if you're thinking, oh, I can put out 20 kilos per 100 metres, all you're doing is just wasting products. Recommended rates, and stick to them, because that's what they're there for. They've done all the research. So anyway, so then I'll just pour this into here. I have spread all this fertiliser. Unfortunately it didn't record, but and the dramas, but yeah, I just put this out at the 1.5 kilo rate. Just went down the middle around the edges and just kept working my way out, trying to give a nice even coverage. Now you need to get this watered in probably sooner rather than later. So we're just getting the water down on this zoysia. I'm just going to run these sprinklers for about half an hour. We get fairly good coverage. Now, it's just important to check your sprinklers, especially if you're using these rotary types, either the Hunter or the Rainbird ones. I use the R-Vans. So I use these because you can flush them out, just so they can be a little susceptible to sand and not turning. So we'll just let them do their thing. We'll get 30 minutes down here, and that wraps up Lawn Renovation 2025 on the Zoysia. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you've watched to the end and you've enjoyed this content. There'll be plenty more to come, especially on the recovery of the Zoysia Australis. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do me a favour, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already done it, so you can see how the Zoysia comes back to life, from dirt to lusciousness. The Down Under Lawn, the best lawn in town.